What would I do to make NIO better if I were part of management? Now, I gotta make it clear I am in no way qualified to run a multi-billion-dollar company, but I've been a NIO owner for 4 years. I've been following the company for 6 years, and I've seen a lot of ins and outs and going to a lot of stores, etc., seeing some of the problems firsthand, and also realizing the frustration that investors are suffering from. Okay, so how would I fix the company both for investors and for NIO owners? So the first thing I think that all investors would really like would be better communication. So number one, I think William Lee has to be more active on Weibo and also on Twitter. We see Elon Musk always tweeting, keeping us updated and hyped about what's going on with Tesla, but we're not seeing the same with NIO. A lot of the updates, the achievements, they're kept secret. Nobody knows about it. Nobody's hyped up about it. What's going on with the company? We don't know. All right. So it would be really, really nice if William Lee had a Twitter account just to, share some information. He does a lot of these broadcasts and little videos. Why not post it on Twitter as well? All right. So that's one of the first things that I really hope they can do. Step number two, I think it's very important for them to do better market research. All right. Reduce the number of complaints. For example, a lot of ES8 owners, first-gen ES8 owners, love the 7-seater version of the car. They use the car more for carrying things because of its carrying capacity. All right, you can seat 6 people and have one seat folded down and still be able to fit some stuff. Whereas right now, the ES8 6-seater really can't do that. And this isn't really reflecting the product, all right? It's more reflecting on the fact that sometimes NIO doesn't exactly know why customers are buying their cars, all right? Also, another example, table. People want tables in their cars. It's just more comfort, all right? Also, just understand what makes their car sell. Are people buying the car for the autonomous driving, or are people buying the car for the comfort or the convenience of battery swap or NIO houses? At least know what's really, really important. And also, more importantly, NIO has to do a survey with all their sales reps. I understand why they're losing some sales. All right, a customer went to buy another car. Why? Why is that the case? Is it because the other car is cheaper in price? Sure. Or is it because that car has better comfort? What's the reason? All right, they got to do better market research, in my opinion. Number three, I think it's very, very important that they do this, is celebrity endorsement, and combine that with better marketing in general. All right, there are lots of celebrities in China who decided to buy a NIO, but we're not seeing this kind of like a celebrity endorsement action for NIO to get their products more well known. All right, and part of that is to communicate the struggles of charging versus battery swap. Okay, and I think right now NIO is doing a lot of marketing on the product, but it's really like how the service changes your life. Okay, battery swap. Some people, they don't even really, for example, like the product that much. Vertical screens, maybe not enough screens in the car. All right, no fridge for some of the models. They might not even like the car that much, but because of battery swap, they buy the car. They have to buy the car. So the communication of this service isn't really done that well. One classic example is the 9 benefits of battery swap. NIO, if you go to any store and you ask a sales rep the 9 benefits of battery swap, I'm pretty sure they can probably list like 4 or 5, but not all 9. What NIO should do, in my personal opinion, is to have these 9 benefits of battery swap written down on the glass of every single NIO store, or even better, on every single swap station. On every single swap station right now, it just says 3 minutes for battery swap. It's faster than charging. That's 1 out of 9 benefits. Okay? Benefit number 2 solving range anxiety. There's no range anxiety because there's over 2,500 swap stations all around the country, many of them also on the highway. Okay, no range anxiety at all. Number 3, it's fully automated. No need to get out the car to experience the cold, harsh weather or pick up any dirty chargers or heavy chargers. And number 4, upgradability. That's a huge one. The ability to upgrade in the city, use a standard range battery pack. When you're going long distance on road trips, rent a higher capacity battery pack for as low as $8 a day. That is just absolutely game changer, but not many people know about it. Too bad. Number 5, because of the fact that battery and the car are separated, you can buy the car without buying the battery, hence reducing the purchase price. This is also another big benefit. Number 6, every battery swap is a health checkup for the car. That's very important for safety reasons. So that's also a very important factor. Number 7, because you're charging the battery in the station, you can use a lower current, prolonging the longevity of the battery, making the battery last a lot longer. And number 8, because of the batteries in the swap station are easily recyclable, this is much greener for the environment. So easy to recycle. Okay, and number 9, of course, grid stabilization to help the community, to help the surrounding areas when there's dire need for electricity. Now, you guys know all the 9 benefits, but do the customers leave the store and know all these 9 benefits of battery swap? That is the question. Okay, so they must have this written down. And then the next one, quite important, the emphasis on material and safety. Okay, NIO uses quality products, quality materials. Everybody that buys a NIO knows about that after, usually, sometimes before, but usually after buying the car. But did you know that even in some NIOs they have carbon fiber? That's crazy, right? In just a regular family car, SUV, they have carbon fiber reinforcement inside the car. That is absolute nuts, but nobody knows about it. How frustrating is that? All right. There's a lot of safety features that NIO has, and NIO does do a little bit of emphasis, but they really got to just hone in on this. All right. Let people know the difference. And the last 2 points will really, really help boost margins. And I think the first one is, of course, to tie up BaaS with battery swap like they are doing in Europe. In Europe, you have to buy the car with BaaS in order to battery swap. All right, you have to rent the battery to battery swap. Here in China, there's no such requirement. Even if you bought the battery or rent the battery, you can still go and do battery swap. And that just creates a lot of problems down the line. Whereas you own a battery, but the battery you owned is actually on someone else's car. Like, that really doesn't make sense. And also, because of this, there's no encouragement for battery swap. Okay, if you tie up BaaS with battery swap and maybe include 1 or 2 free swaps along with the BaaS payment, like that BaaS payment covers 2 free swaps per month, that's really going to encourage people to do battery swaps more. All right, and it's also going to really make it clear for the buyer that you don't actually own a battery pack, and that's the way it actually should be done. All right, and then number 2, this is very important, is to offer what customers want. For the longest time ever, okay, NIO refused to have rear screens because William Lee, the CEO, thought that rear screens would be bad for the eyes of the kids, and hence nobody should have rear screens because it's bad for the eyes. But some customers, they want rear screens, right? And they finally capitulated and finally offered that. But that's just one point. The other point is, like, offer single motor variants. Okay, the measurement of how luxurious a car isn't by having dual motors or that kind of stuff. It's the brand, right? BMW has cheap cars as well. Mercedes has cheap cars as well. And their electric cars also have single motor variants. Okay, it's just offering a more economical solution, a cheaper alternative to capture more market share. So NIO should absolutely offer a single motor variant and also non-LiDAR variant, because some people, they just don't like LiDAR. All right, this is what everybody else is doing except NIO. Offer what people want. You don't want LiDAR, don't get LiDAR. You want single motor, hell. All right, the flexibility is what the flexibility of battery swap is what makes people really want to buy a NIO. Right, you're not stuck with that one capacity battery. But how come with these other things you're stuck with dual motor and you're stuck with LiDAR? Come on, more options equals better sales. One thing that NIO does really well is broadcasting, live streaming. NIO does so many live streams. They have their own main channel of live stream. They have their individual city channels like NIO Beijing, NIO Shanghai, NIO Anhui, NIO Dalian. All these different cities, they have their own live stream as well, of course, to get more of the local audience and understand some of the subsidies and policies there. I mean, they're putting so much effort into these live streams. But sometimes these live streams have maybe 100, 1,000, or maybe 2,000 viewers. Not that many viewers. And some of them are already NIO owners. Okay? So they're putting a lot of effort into this, and everybody's doing it. So every city, every new city's doing it. It seems a little bit too much. Okay? Instead, really important is to have celebrity endorsement. That's really going to convert their fan base, all right, their entire fan base, which could be millions and hundreds of millions of people, into, pay attention to NIO. All right, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for that fan base, their customers, their loyal fans, to potentially even buy a NIO, switch to a NIO. Okay, that's what they're paying for with these celebrity endorsements, and also big sponsorships. Even though I know, yes, it's very expensive. At a sporting event, you see these big ads. They're kind of pricey, expensive, but that really gets your word out. All right, people in rural cities, they might have no idea about NIO's existence or no idea what NIO's all about. If you run a very expensive but a very targeted ad that conveys battery swap, conveys the coolness of NIO, all that stuff, you get the message concise and you deliver it properly, you have one of these ads, that's gonna do wonders. So still, again, marketing. All right, marketing just isn't there. As always, this is just my opinion, and NIO, if you're listening to this, hopefully you can implement some of these changes, especially the in-store ones. I really hope that people can understand what battery swap is all about. Okay, it's so frustrating because for me, one time I was in the store, I was just eavesdropping. Some other customers talking to the sales rep. They talked for like 20 minutes, and then I came in, I talked to that customer, and that customer thought battery swap was done manually by hand. That person thought, man, the battery's so heavy, I can't carry it. I don't want to carry a battery, like to change the battery, because that's what you have to do with any other automobile car. You change the small 12-volt lead battery, you got to do it by hand. People still think that's what battery swap is. How dumb is that? So really, get that marketing right. All right, let everybody know about battery swap. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.